Where is Arianna?
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing? Let me.
Oh, that's just Rockwell making a mess right there.
That is okay. Like I said in that quick little in our quick little like text exchange, like I say this all the time because I'll never forget when I was in church. We had this very mean lady named Miss Pickett, God rest her, who would get so, she was very prim and proper. She was like a different version of my grandma Myrtle, and she would get so aggravated when the kids would just make kid noises
Yeah.
and I'll never forget our Reverend once as a way to deal. He was such a good man, Reverend Rigsby. And I remember him saying, he's like, we should all be happy when we hear the sounds of children in a space because it means the spirit is here and it means that the space is alive. So I am absolutely, I'm gonna make you a moderator, Arianna. There we go. She's a little green bean. And so I just want you to know, like, yeah, this is most of the rooms that I'm in on Clubhouse are rooms with women and women identified people, and it's babies and there's babies and dogs, and it means the space is alive.
We are definitely vibrant here today.
Well, exactly, vibrant. Oh my gosh, I don't know if y'all can hear from Arianna's voice. I'm gonna try to keep it together, and Karen's down there, so it means I'll probably cry at least once, but I'll try to I will try to keep it under control. Let me just open us up. Welcome everybody. I see some folks followed me over from the Tarot Journal. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Boss Witch Interviews. This is the second quote unquote episode of the Boss Witch Interviews here on Clubhouse. Part of my journey as an intuitive, as a hoodoo, and especially as an intuitive entrepreneur has been as amazing and successful as it has been because of the brilliant boss witches, I call them, my business coven, that by manifestation, by my rituals, by me calling them, bringing them in, surround me now. I am so grateful for them. They give an added element of happiness, intellect, depth, a feeling and a spirit of sisterhood and communion that are so important to me that I am bewildered how I made it this far without them, to be perfectly honest. And y'all know me, and Arianna, I'll never forget I think I heard you, it was either you or Karen say this, that you're like, yeah, HALICUE'S an amplifier. So y'all know that I can't love something without talking about it. And so I have to tell
So
you,
true.
it's when you told me that, Ariana, I was like, oh, that was the kindest, coolest thing anybody's ever said to me, And I was like, and so that is what I'm gonna do on here, because I take everything that this woman says really freaking seriously. So when she said that, it gave me a new way to look at what my job is and what I'm here to do. And so I'm here to amplify, and I want to share with you all the amazing intuitive entrepreneurs that I know, women that have taken their own personal magic, whatever their tradition, whatever their lineage, and add that special magic to it to make them impactful, that makes them successful. And I want to bring them to you. So I call it inviting folks up on my cosmic couch for the Boss Witch interviews. Our last amazing Boss Witch was Karen Lepage, and I am so thrilled and honored to welcome Arianna. Before we get into our interview, we're going to dive right in. I'd like to invite you all to tap the little green chateau, join our club here on Terra Power Soul. I want you to settle in. I want you to make yourself comfortable. I want you to get a little bit of tea. I want you to, if you got a candle, light it. You got some incense, light it. Put on some awesome music in the background, and get ready for this awesome interview with my homegirl, Arianna Maag. Arianna is not only, I'm so thrilled to be able to call her a friend. I can't believe this. Like, there was a time when I was like, I got to be first in the workshop that she's giving because I just need to be up front. I need her to see that I'm up front, like to see that I'm here to learn and to study. I look at some of the assets that she's created and the information I've gotten from her workshops in my workspace, literally in I call it my witch's closet. Hey, Muffin, I cannot wait to see you. And so I'm so thrilled to bring her to you. But Arianna, again, and so I need to do just an official introduction of myself just because it's a room and this is going to be up on YouTube and on the replays. Y'all know me. I'm Hannah. I'm an intuitive counselor and advisor for women. I'm your friendly neighborhood tarot reader here on Clubhouse and on and other corners of Beyonce's internet. I'm so thrilled to have y'all here. And I'm going to jump in with some questions. But Arianna, before I do, I would like to read a little something to you, and I'd like to see if this sounds familiar to you. And if what I'm reading and this person sounds familiar to you, I'd love for you to chime in. So I just want to read a teeny bit of a description. This beautiful spiritual being having a human experience is your ultimate hype woman. She does not hold punches when it comes to seeking out to help people seek out and dance with her shadow to live free. I'm going to start over. I'm sorry. I'm come from the world of podcasting. I messed that up. I'm going to start over. This woman is your
So
ultimate.
perfect.
Thank you. This I messed up. I'm gonna start over. That's what we tell kids to do. That's what I'm gonna do. Arianna is your this woman is your ultimate hype woman. She absolutely holds no punches when it comes to helping seek out and dance with your shadow to live freely on your terms. In the corporate world, her love of people and their potential takes the shape as a human resources manager. But in the magical and mystical world that she lives in, she is an enthusiastic human design reader. I call her a human design queen. When she's in her family's world, she is a witchy mama of two beautiful little darlings, and a spirited home birther for which I really freaking admire you and just holler if you hear me because your girl could never, but I am here for this journey. um I know her as a beautiful young spirit, an amazing mother, an intellect, a professional, someone that is uniquely magical. um she opens portals to help us understand our unique human design. Do you know who this person is? And can you tell us a little bit more about her?
Oh, cute. That was so sweet and so generous. Wow. It's me. It's your girl. Wow. Thank you for that incredible introduction. It's so interesting and it's such a gift to be able to hear yourself played back in that way that you just did. So thank you. Wow. I'm so grateful for our connection and even more so our friendship.
She's also the Queen of Cups to me. I'm gonna put that up there. Arianna, as we get started, since I call this room the Boss Witch Interviews, can I ask you? It was actually through a workshop with you and in a community with you called Holisticism that I first kind of heard this term. I spiritually identify as. Some folks like that term, some folks don't. I love it because I feel like it gives me a chance to talk and kind of find words to explain to people who I am, what my magic is. Do you mind if I ask you, and if you would please share, how would you say you identify spiritually?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Wow, I've never even contemplated that before. I feel like I spiritually identify as someone who takes their cues from nature, and yeah, I that's a really good question for contemplation. But I am constantly taking my cues from nature, all of the elements. I mean, I literally live in a log home, and it nature led me here. It was the sighting of an owl that led me here. So when I say that, I'm not just being superficial with that. Like I truly mean it. Animals, weather, land, other people. I take my cues from nature, like constantly ask and constantly in community with nature, asking what does it need from me? What would it like me to do? And also how can I receive all of its gifts and abundance as well? And when I'm like looking around my house, it's like, yeah, that's about right. Staring at these logs, staring at these trees that surround and also shelter our family. And that's probably been the biggest thread of like our little red string through life, if you will.
I have to say, I also want to just give this tiny little tidbit into being a friend and colleague of Arianna. I love the way Arianna, when we have our meetings or we're co-working or we're working on a podcast, which I'll talk to everybody about a little bit later and put up a link. Speaking of links, y'all look right above our heads. Go ahead and tap on that link. Let it touch and agree with your spirit. Get into it. It's one of the first portals that I'll be putting up so that you can get into Arianna's world. But one of the coolest things about her is how quickly she is down to do some magic. Like literally we'll be talking and she's like, you know what? Let's just burn that right now. Like she will get out a bowl. Like I'll never forget the time. I don't know what we were doing or working on, but I was like, yeah, I got a bowl right here. And I'm gonna write out this petition and we're gonna light this on fire and just send that on out to the universe. I love how quickly she's able to execute while juggling a career, doing some home remodel, and two gorgeous babies like down around her feet. Can I ask you, and I just want to say, y'all, again, human design and Arianna teaching me, she's my personal human design practitioner. I consider her one of my teachers. Human design, I feel, has been one of the most influential aspects of my study and my connection to spirit that I have undertaken and that I have invested in since starting my own intuitive entrepreneurial journey. Can you please give us a brief definition of which I know is challenging because you're a practitioner, but what human design is and how your human design journey began?
I would love to. So I was always classified like as a seeker and as an educator, and that's taken shape in a lot of different ways in my life. And um, on my path to just trying to articulate, like, what is it I'm even good at? Like, what do I have to offer the world? And honestly, looking for a job where you're constantly forced to in interviews like state in really quippy quippy ways how you can add value and how what you can contribute and why you'd be a beneficial hire. I realized that I do not fit into this box. I There's no box that I could just check and have it just be me. And I had a couple different avenues that I was exploring, both professionally and personally. And my husband Eric and I we were thinking about starting our family, and I just wanted to make sure that I was at a place mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, where I could really be a present mother. And I was, as we all do, as probably what led you all here, dabbling in the spiritual world of things. Like, okay, well, where can I see myself? Where can I find people that hold the same values and can really push me to the next level, the next version, the best version of myself? And I was listening to a podcast, and it was one of my teachers, Jenna Zoe, was being interviewed, and she introduced human design, and I just had this resonance in my body that just completely took over. And I started to just Google it like crazy. Like, what is this? At this point in time, I had taken all the personality tests. I have done Gallups and Strength Finder to identify your strengths and Myers-Briggs and all of the things, the DISC assessment, literally all of the things in my corporate side, but nothing quite felt like me. And it's because you are in all of those tests and all those assessments, you're trying to input parts of yourself to get a reading back. That's just like, oh, well, here's how you contribute to this bottom line of this corporation. But with human design, it's the opposite. It only asks you three questions: when you were born, where, and at what time. And then it gives you all of your cosmic tools that you were gifted with in this lifetime. And it's a little blueprint of all the things that you get to do with these gifts at hand. And while it's not predictive, it just shows you, like, yeah, you have immediate access to this. It is who you are, it is your innate nature. And if you don't use these gifts, the world can't be blessed by you and them. So as soon as I found human design, I was like, this is game over. I just need to just be completely immersed in this space, because for the first time, after so much searching and after so much longing for a way to describe myself, it really captured the bits of me that I couldn't articulate before.
Oh, so okay, I get excited. Okay, so I'm I'm here to ask you questions and to highlight you, and I also have to let y'all know. I just feel like I need to reiterate like over and over. how freaking helpful having this information is, how it is so, like, all of the information that Arianna like explains and she translates, it is so useful, it is so usable in so many different aspects of our life, but especially for business. Like, I will say the two most important aspects are, honestly, Arianna, not even my mothering, but within my marriage,
Hmm.
and within my business. Um, and so I guess in order to keep it to our topic and about like entrepreneurialism and intuitive entrepreneurialism, because I could just go on forever and ever. And I just want to say one more time too, I literally don't do anything. I don't make an Instagram post. I don't design anything on Canva. I don't offer a new offering. Before I got my big Spotify gig, um, before I decided to partner with Land of Verse or Scarlet Sage or Botanical Life, different places like where I read, I consult my human design. Arianna, after your sessions with her, she gives you this amazing booklet. And for me, it truly is my human design reference guide. And it always helps me refocus on what my gifts are, right? Not so much what my challenges are, because I know my challenges, knowing what the challenges are only help me be a little bit stronger in enjoying and taking comfort and generating power around what my gifts are. So, Arianna, can you tell us why? I mean, I know why I think human design is so important, especially for new entrepreneurs, people that are just deciding to hang up their shingle, like maybe, take a stab at starting their own business or doing their first offering or putting themselves out there. I know why I feel it's important, but I'm not that articulate about it because I'm not the professional. Why do you think it's really important for professionals and especially intuitive professionals?
Absolutely. One of the biggest things is you are going to have, for right, wrong, or indifferent, you are going to have so many voices, so many people that want to influence you in one way or another, um, about you and your business. And human design shows you your path. It shows you how you best make decisions for yourself, how you can best set up boundaries, what skills and energy do you bring to the table, and what do you amplify and magnify for others, where you're more susceptible to receiving other people's energy and different layers and levels of that. There's just, it's so much and it goes so deep, but it's like your inner your inner map of how you can beautifully dance with your business in a way that doesn't feel forced or stressed or strained, and in a way that is really unique and really honors who you are as an individual. It's nicknamed like the science of differentiation, which I love, because there are over 2 billion combinations with human design, and we are all so unique. And not one of us, no matter what your human design chart looks like, makes decisions in their mind. We all feel it in the body, and the human design is like a map of your body, and where to feel that and how it may arise. So when it comes to you starting off your business, or just interacting with your business as a intuitive entrepreneur, it helps you tap into your intuition.
Oh, so true. I personally think, and this is an off the cusp question. I kind of gave you an idea of what we're going to talk about, but I was like, I know I'm going to be inspired to like ask this, ask a different question. Arianna, I feel, and what I'm seeing, especially with new clients and groups that are coming to me, I feel like I'm seeing, and I don't know if it was COVID, I don't know if it was us all having to be shut in. Instead of being able to go outward to find answers and to be distracted and waste our time, a lot of us decided to turn inward. And when we did, something exciting happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that there's this intuitive, magical awakening that's happening with women and women identified people, to the point and beyond, like, let me stir some cinnamon or whatever into my coffee and stir it clockwise to bring
Sure.
in abundance, like a little bit beyond that, right? Like, to taking their magic, their intuitive tools and their practices into the workspace. And what I'm seeing and I'm encouraging people to do, um, is to do that. And I feel that what I'm seeing and I'm receiving from people are just amazing, amazing, amazing responses. People are more willing to do it. Women, especially, and women identified people, are more willing to do it and to bring that into their motherhood. Is that something that you like? What do you think about that? Is that something that you feel that you're seeing, or do you think it's something that people should do?
Oh,
Why or why not?
100-fold. Absolutely, they should. I think as we, step into this new phase, still very much in a pandemic world, um, we've been gifted this opportunity to ask ourselves and our family and of our work life and any other work streams that come and flow to you is how would I do it if I didn't have any other limitations, right? If I could do it my way, what would that even look like? How could I do it? How do I want it? What do I want? And that's the hardest and best and biggest and most important question an entrepreneur can ask themselves because they truly get to create, and not only for themselves but for their community and for the wave of people that are coming after them and watching them and really stepping alongside with them. So it's one of my favorite questions to push my clients on too. And human design, as I mentioned, like it holds the key to a lot of things that you have access to, but it's not predictive and it doesn't know your experiences in this lifetime. And with that, you get to really take it to a way that's just most natural to you, which is so exciting. And the options are just so endless. And I love reminding people of that. Like, well, how would you do it if you didn't, if there wasn't a script, if there wasn't this person on the left or the right of you, how would you do it? Check in with your body. What does your spleen feel like? What does your sacral feel like? What does your solar plex say? Like, what are you really getting called to? How are you leaning forward in your chair right now? Your body's beckoning you here. Let's listen to that and explore that, which is the coolest part of my work is witnessing people trust themselves.
Arianna, is it okay if I invite people to pop in any questions they might have into the chat? Is that okay
Yeah,
with you? So,
absolutely.
guys, I'm going to take this moment to do a quick rinse and refresh. Like, first of all, Arianna, I'm giving you a hug and blowing you a kiss through these little
Thank you.
bubbles up here. I'm high fiving everybody down in the listeners' lounge. I'm so glad y'all are here. I just want to acknowledge everybody: Karen, Aurora, Leanne, Denise, Green, Erica, another one of our magical moms, Janice, Rumette, Morel, Flora, Anthony, Emily, Frida, welcome. Y'all are in the Tarot Power Soul Club. This is the Boss Witch Interviews. I am interviewing Human Design Queen and Boss Witch Arianna Maag. I append Arianna's link up here. Um, Again, I always say this. I'm so proud. I just remember the first time I saw one of your workshops and the fact that I can call you a friend, a fellow magical mom,
Oh,
a colleague just is means the world to me. And I'm so glad you're here. I have got a few more questions for you. I want to see. I don't think we have a question in the chat. If anyone has a question for Arianna, please pop it into the chat. Um, Arianna, I have another question for you too.
yeah.
I can literally, this is the best for me, y'all, because I love inviting folks that I know personally up on the couch because I could just ask them all the questions I don't have the time to ask in co-working with them or anything like that. Arianna, everybody, when you first discover whatever your tool is, because I think of human design the same way I think of astrology, the same way I think of the intuitive art of tarot and divining as this amazing spiritual tool. It's first important for what it does for us, for
Hmm.
ourselves, right? And our own personal practices. It can be so transformational that we're like, for some of us instinctively, it's like keep it to ourselves, don't tell people about it. It's like
Hmm.
our secret private weapon. And for some of us, especially those that, because yeah, I know folks that are like that, like my little scary Scorpio is probably like that. When she discovers something that's cool, magical, and works, it is not her inclination to talk about it with people or to share it in any way. It's probably to nurture it in private, right?
Yeah,
But for
keep it
some
secret,
of
keep it
us,
safe.
yeah, keep it safe. Can't let you people touch this precious thing. Um, but some of us, the reaction is the exact opposite. And we realize that not only is this tool amazing, but that we're gifted with it and that it's time to share it with others. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you came to wanting to share this spiritual tool, this system that you love? Because I can, you may not consider it a spiritual system. I definitely do. But how you
Yeah.
came to take this tool and share it with others. What was that decision? Because when you decide to take it pro, that's a big deal. It's,
Mhm.
maybe it's not the NFL draft, but it's kind of like the intuitive entrepreneur draft. Like, how did you decide to do that? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting because as I think about that, probably the number one compliment that I receive from clients is just like, "Wow, that was so affirming." And I think with anyone in their entrepreneurial pursuits, it affirms a big part of what you identify with, what you love, what you appreciate, like that affirmation. And so for me, human design, finding human design was just so affirming. I remember being a kid and learning about the term jack of all trades, master of none, and quizzing my dad about it. I'm just like, why would I not want to be a jack of all trades? He's like, well, because you'd be a master of none. I'm just like, but I would know so much about so much. Like, this seems like a win-win thing to me. I didn't know, and neither did he, that I'm a manifesting generator. So it is truly my job on this planet to be a jack of all trades. And to zig and zag as I feel called to and as the excitement moves me, because what I'm mastering has never even been seen before. Meanwhile, my dad is a generator. Sorry, Rackle has a lot of opinions on the topic. My dad, who's a generator, he's here to be masterful at something. So for him, that saying is just so backwards that I would ever want to pursue being a jack of all trades. So for me, it was really life affirming. It affirmed what I wanted, what I value, and yeah, it was just I knew I had to share it because I wanted to give the gift of affirming other people's lives and their own inclination and just to get people to trust themselves. And I just want people to realize like, you don't have to say, I don't know ever again because you are so knowing. Your body is so knowing. And even if you say, like, yeah, I don't know yet, or could be this or could be that, you can feel comfortable and confident in your stance. And I really wanted to share that gift with others.
Thank you so much, girl. I was just pinning up another link. I'm like, trying to work some magic back here in the background. Thank you so much for that. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna share an anecdote on why this woman is so amazing. She's not only brilliant in being a teacher, like a teacher. So she's obviously always teaching people about human design, especially teaching intuitive entrepreneurs about how we can use our human design. And when you work with her privately, she gives you this, she's you're an amazing listener. And then you compile all the information and you're wonderful at giving us this kind of compendium of understanding your design. You give us resources that we can actually print out, go back to. I mentioned earlier, I always love going back. Like when I'm starting, I'm like, okay, remember this. Like, remember your centers, like remember how you make decisions. And I just want to give you an anecdote. Some of the things, like Arianna is wonderful at working with you, listening, giving you all of this information, but also you're also brilliant at giving us delicious, bite-sized reminders of what our
Oh, thank
design
you.
is. And that's the kind of thing that is so helpful for me. You had this wonderful offering where you gave us different affirmations like every day for like 30 days, each of which I kept
Yeah.
and I still replay.
Oh.
I still replay, but I want to give you but there's so many big things that are so simple that you taught me that helped me make decisions that have made my life so much more peaceful and happy. And I just want to give you all an example of like ways to make decisions. I'll never forget like Arianna telling me if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Like just little things to just remember. And I was asked recently, it's on a board that I sit on, the CEO of the org made this ask to me, and it was a big ask. And when I was operating, not understanding my design, not living my human design, I would have made myself miserable for 2 months saying yes to this request. It was a request to host a fundraiser. I would have done it because I was basically brought up to always feel like you just lay yourself on the altar and sacrifice
Mm-hmm.
yourself to community,
Oh yeah.
and that you're not supposed to say no. You're supposed to be enmeshed and not have boundaries. But you gave me that little bite-sized, delicious piece. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, and how to make decisions. And so when that request came in to host that fundraiser, I'm not going to use the word I used. It wasn't hell no, but it was F no, and it was like it came through so loud, and I was like, look at all of the time and energy. It is worth every dime I have spent in like learning about human design, our sessions with each other. I literally felt happy and light in my heart because I was
Mm,
like, that's right. Arianna taught me that I'm not supposed to live like that. It is my design to, if I'm super enthusiastic about it, I'll do a great job. It'll be unbelievably fulfilling. I'll be excited and into it. And if I don't, I'm going to be miserable. And that's just an example of one of the amazing just things that I've learned. And you'd think that's really simple, but no, you, it took you being able
oh,
to talk to me about that. So I know that there are going to be folks that when they, leave our little, they leave our room today. I put another amazing link up there. Y'all need to get Arianna into your life, into your world. If you are remotely interested in your human design, please get your information from a trusted source. But Arianna, until folks do that, they may do their own research or
yeah.
whatever, and they may insert their information in some website and maybe pull up their chart.
Yep.
So I've told people, like, the one thing that I always return to, what is one of the most important things if people decide to kind of play around, like get their, do their own chart? What's the most important thing for them to take note of?
Ooh. Oh, that's so hard. But you've touched on one of my favorite aspects, and that's making decisions. So your inner authority is huge, and I love to spend as much time as people would let me do for on inner authority, because honestly, if you get to a point where you can make decisions and with by listening to your body, like, all the other pieces are going to fall into place. All of your gifts are going to be revealed. Everything that's meant for you is going to show up, because you are constantly just in a position where it's just like, yeah, I know, and this is for me, and it feels good, and so I'm going to go for it. Or this is not for me right now, and so I'm going to wait. And it just completely detaches you from any sort of conditioning where you feel as though maybe you need to do something out of duty or service or sacrifice or fear. Your inner authority is going to guard you from that. It wants nothing more than to keep you happy and safe and totally alive about life. So inner authority is the number one to just kind of like play around with and tinker with, and be like, oh, well, how did I arrive to that conclusion? Where did I feel it in my body? How does this align to what my human design chart is showing me? And there's a lot of ways you can do that.
Thank you so much for that, girl. I'm gonna do one last little rinse and refresh, and I'm gonna put one last link up here, and it is about one of our projects together. It's about our new podcast, Magical Motherhood. I don't know why I'm having the toughest time with my links today, but there she is, right there. Um, Arianna, can you
Yeah,
tell? We're starting another magical podcasting journey
we are.
together. We've been working together for months, making it perfect. Like, not making it perfect, but offering the absolute best that we have to offer. I put the link up there. I'd love for you all to check it out, guys. Our trailer is up, and we want to have an amazing bank of episodes for you, so we're working on those. It's going to be debuting soon. Can you talk a little bit about, I mean, we talk, obviously we're, a lot of us are here intuitive entrepreneurs. We're interested in human design for lots of reasons. I love it especially for how it helps me to evolve and grow my business. But another way it's been really helpful, and I mentioned that earlier, was in my relationships. And y'all know I'm
Hmm.
a I'm a house hoodoo, right? Like Leo, Sun, Mercury, Mars in the fourth house. I love my house. I'm the queen of my house. Like everything starts here and kind of radiates out. Um, and understanding my own human design, I think, has really enhanced my ability to mother. Can you
Hmm.
talk a little bit about, because for some of us, our job, our work is in our home, right? Like it's within the four
Yeah,
walls of our home. It's raising these little
absolutely.
darlings. Um, can you talk to us a little bit about how human design has played into your role as mama?
Yes. Understanding my own human design has really given me grace and just what I'm available for, and honestly what my energy is not. And when you know yourself in such a profound way, then you can show people how to treat you. And then I also get to model that for my boys. And I also know just by just reading even the basics of their chart, because I try not to be too intrusive since it's theirs to share. Um, so I just touch on the basics, like, oh, I'm posing this big lofty question, and that's nothing for their sacral to respond to. So I know how they perceive my energy. I know that my 3-year-old can pick up on my emotions. So if he's kind of just like acting in such a way, it just gives me pause to say, like, oh, well, what am I bringing into this space that he's picking up on, and that he's not only absorbing but amplifying. And it gives you reminders and pause, and just shows you in another way just how unique we all are, and how we can show up for each other and really care for each other in ways that are super supportive. My husband is a manifester, and I'm a manifesting generator. And I we do things very differently. And so I would have to show him, like, okay, I know you just want to like take off and go work in the barn, but like I just need a heads up. Like, you just need to inform me, which is the strategy for a manifester. But he didn't know. He's been living his whole life this way. And so it really just helps you communicate what your needs are and how to get it, and how to be an advocate for yourself, and how to for others to be an advocate for themselves as well, which is all we could really want and ask for, is to treat people how they want to be treated, and also love ourselves the way we want to be loved too.
Oh, this is again another reason I'm gonna keep repeating it and saying it over and over again. I feel unbelievably privileged and honored to not only be able to, share this information, and introduce you to like my little world, like here on Clubhouse, and hopefully, help shine your light so people can access this amazing thing. Oh, I cannot wait till I can see you and squeeze you and hug you.
I'm
I'm
so
talking to the
excited.
baby. Cannot
Yeah.
wait. We have a lovely intuitive biz retreat meeting planned. We all just want an excuse to go to Arianna's house and, like, I don't know, have fires in the evening and hold the babies and like make flower crowns and make delicious yummy foods and potions. But that's private and personal, so we're gonna leave that to the side. I actually, one of the reasons I felt a connection to you initially, Arianna, and I feel it grow every time we record our podcast, every time we meet with the other magical moms that are part of our podcast, is because you, and of course subsequently all the other amazing women that I'm meeting, remind me so much of my sister. My sister was the first person. Andy was the first woman I knew that was working a very, very, very challenging, kind of straight corporate gig, but
Yep.
who also was managing this huge entrepreneurial endeavor, like that involved being a spiritual, intuitive being. Those are two very big
Yeah.
jobs. Like, I don't work a straight job anymore, and I'm exhausted. Like, I'm exhausted. And my kids are 13 and 18, and for the most part, really like to just kiss me on the forehead a couple of times a day and like, oh, mommy, and go about their lives. Like, y'all have littles. Like, you and Andy have like little beings, and y'all are brilliant. I mean, I know it's tough in the background, but man, the face y'all show us is just glowing and moisturized and healthy and calm and fun. But I know it's not all a walk in the park. Can you talk to me a little bit about what are your resources for being able to manage those two things, this very important job in the world of big tech and
Yep.
this amazing intuitive business that you've built?
Yeah. Um, Honestly, it was my first step was getting like really, really, really clear on what my priorities are. And for me, that's showing up as the mom that, like, I hate to say it because it's so cliche, like the best mom I can be, but honestly the best mom that they need. And so I've always been really clear with work, as far as, my what hours I'm willing to have, the days I'm willing to work, and when and how I'm willing to travel. At my last company, I took my first son with me on every business trip, and they either provided childcare or I did, and that was just a non-negotiable for me. And so when I think about like my pillars of support, I really needed to be clear as far as like, well, what's the goal here? How do I want to feel? How do I want to move in this space? And then being so honest with yourself and allowing yourself to ask. Because oftentimes, like, so many resources are available, so many people want to help, but they don't know that you need it. And so by asking, it has led me to the most interesting rooms. It has led me, at my last company, I I did a human design reading for my manager, who is, you know, a cis white male who's been at this company for over 30 years. And it's just so off his radar, but it was such a cool exchange for us to partake in. And at my new company, I recently switched jobs. I was again honest about like what I love, what lights my cup, what fills me up, what just sets my heart, thus my work on fire. And now I'll be leading part of our offsite with human design, just because people are open and they do want to help. And um, if your craft, if whatever your entrepreneurial pursuit is affirming to you, it's going to be affirming to other people. So the best scenario is the win-win, where you can share parts of yourself and other people feel comfortable and safe and alive and encouraged to do the same.
You're amazing. I could go. I could go on and on. I'm also still reeling from doing a human design reading for like either a coworker or a colleague. Just amazeballs. Like what amazing times we're living in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about the last time I was in a, you know, like a real corporate like office environment. The only cishet men we came across were the doctors, right? The physicians. This is when I worked at Planned Parenthood, or they'd be some, you know, like the CMO of the organization or something. And the idea of doing that, like sharing you know, like sharing a
Yeah.
reading that's so cool. And so
right.
amazing.
And it's just like, you just invite them in and you say, you know, skeptics welcome. I'm not trying to convince you or force you into doing anything. This is how it's helped me, and it's what I love, and it's a gift to share it with you. So if you're open and people are just like, oh yeah, I'm open, here's my birthday, it's like perfect. So now it's interesting to, you know, human design your colleagues.
Oh, that is, can you imagine how that, I at this point, I don't know. I can only state it as clearly and as enthusiastically as I can. Is you all, whatever your interest in the intuitive art, or what some of these tools are, like human design or your astrology, or I'm not going to say palmistry, but like whatever some of these amazing ancient systems are, bring them into your work, like bring them into your spaces, like do your investigation yourself. And if you're not sure how to do that, you know, consult someone like the amazing Arianna Maag here. Let her help you. Arianna, I talk so much about podcasts and all the different things that are going on. I think I'm putting up all of your links. Can you talk to us about, are there any particular new offerings or any projects that you have that are coming up that are really exciting you want to tell people about?
Yeah, I'd love to. So right now I have in my shop, as HALICUE had experienced the personal mantras for 30 days. I have loved pouring into those, because I really get to look at someone's chart and also see what kind of reminder do they need to hear, and kind of use my own intuition to really, you know, pick out what days and how the whole sequence is going to flow. And so if you want just like a quick daily email or reminder or a prompt of something to contemplate about your human design, that the shop is where to look for that. And then also my sessions, I love the deep dive sessions, because it's for people who maybe they've looked at human design on their own, but they just want a thought partner or someone to just brainstorm with. And it allows us to go deep. And if human design is really new to you, a foundational reading is the perfect place to start, because I won't leave you in the dust, and you're going to feel super empowered afterwards to continue with the exploration of you. And for people who are up for ease and freedom and like the idea of a push of a button, the timeline jump is where it's at, which is one of my newer offerings. And I combine it with human design, so it could be super personalized for you as well.
Oh, I'm also going to say too, uh, Arianna has a style with the way she, not only the way she presents in workshops, but especially in her personal communications with you and even with her newsletter. I knew this woman was the human design practitioner for me because, like a lot of people, I'd gone to one of her first workshops. I thought, well, am I ready to quite invest in this shit? I don't know. I'm launching this business, but I'm interested. Let me just look up my own chart and see what research I can do by myself. And while I was able to do a little bit, I knew immediately I wanted to go deeper. And I knew I was ready to go with Arianna when, in I think one of her presentations, she was explaining, I forget, maybe it was our different centers and you use Disney characters. And then in an email, because I'm a bit of a Disney fanatic in our family, and in one of your first newsletters, you brought in Bridgerton. And I thought, oh, she's for me. I was like, okay, so
I love pop culture references.
oh my gosh. Like the only other person I'm interested in getting TikToks from other than my sisters is from Arianna. Cause I'm like, she knows how to talk to me. She knows how to give me just enough pop culture with my intuitive guidance and my human design
Oh,
information. Like you're just amazing with that. So I want to invite everybody to tap on the link above me, get into Arianna's world. And Arianna, talk to us a little bit about, and then I'm gonna let you go because I know you're busy and you're working again like a very important full-time and straight gang. um Tell us what it's been like so far with magical motherhood for you, and why you decided to join arms with us, because I really do imagine all of us as like the characters in the Wiz, kind of joining arms and going down this
easing on
yellow,
down the road.
easing down this road. So when you said like ease, and I was like, yep, let me just go ahead and ask this. Why did you decide to make podcasting a part of, because it's impossible for, I think that it's, I'm not saying, we're doing the podcast because of business, but we're business women. So podcasting is not only a joy to do if you love it, but it's brilliant for your business. Why did you decide to link arms and join us on this magical motherhood podcasting adventure?
Yes, I'd love to. So I just as I found human design through a podcast, I know the impact that it has on the person who is sitting in a room. Maybe she's multitasking, doing the laundry while wanting to connect to other women, while wanting to be reminded that she is completely sane in all of her ideas and all of her ways of thinking, even if there's not a community right in front of her that's mirroring that back. And I just know that podcasting is a beautiful way to do that, to carry us in your pocket and have you in your ear, and let us cheer you on and support you from an audio perspective, and know that you are not alone. Motherhood cannot be done in isolation, and it really relies on community. And I I've just been so honored by the three of you, and I've just learned so much, and even creating this podcast about how to be a mother and how to be a friend and a sister and a partner, and a daughter, and just a matriarch in such profound ways that my motherhood has just improved 100-fold because of it. And I want to share that with as many people as possible, and as many people need it. And I don't want it to be just kept to myself, because it was so life changing.
Well, I am thrilled to be on this. I'm thrilled to be on this journey with you. I hope my understanding and my further understanding of my human design continues to grow. Thank you for all of the questions that you let us pepper you with.
My
Thank you so much
pleasure.
for your enthusiasm. When I tell y'all, when Ariana says she's the ultimate hype woman, she is not joking. I will never forget when I posted a reel, I think, on being kind of a mystic that's in midlife, and Ariana was immediately like, yeah, girl, get that market, go. Like, I was like, she truly is like, just, she is your hype woman. She helps you understand your unique human design. What you choose to do with it is up to you. But if you are an intuitive entrepreneur, if you're thinking about putting out your shingle, opening your business, combining your passion with your purpose, you cannot go wrong meeting with this amazing, amazing, magical being. I put all of Ariana's links up there. Oh, Ariana, tell us where to find you out on Beyonce's internet.
Yeah. So you can find me on my website, ariannamaag.com. You can book a session with me. You can email me there as well. hello@ariannamaag.com too. And then on Instagram, I'm going to start to do some really cool things on my new Instagram called Before I Pivot. And so you can keep a watchful eye out on that.
Amazing. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for hanging out on my
Oh,
Cosmic Cast
such a
today.
pleasure.
Oh my
Such a
gosh.
pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. I mean it. I'm grabbing. I'm taking all of it. Like this bunch of flowers that you are, girl. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Everybody, touch the links above. Get into Arianna's world. You could also check out her profile here on Clubhouse. I think she has her. Yep, she does. She's got her links on here. Make sure to follow her on Instagram and on all the socials. Be on the lookout for our new podcast, Magical Motherhood. If you love the sound of her voice, and I know you do, definitely get into it. Check out our trailer. I hope if you came in a little bit late, welcome. Enjoy the replay. With Arianna's permission, in a day or two, we should have it up on YouTube so you all can enjoy it there. And I'll also have touchable, clickable links to all of her offerings and to her website, to our new podcast up on the YouTube page. Also, go there and check out our amazing boss switch from the week before, Karen LaPaz. She was in here. And there's a couple of y'all in here that are going to be coming up on the couch. Don't mean to call you out, Erica, but you're next up on The Price is Right. So get yourself ready. And Arianna, thank you so much for hanging out with me in the Boss Witch interviews. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for having me.
And now go kiss the babies. I can't. I'm just like, I cannot wait to see them and get to know them.
Yes.
And y'all, I love y'all like play cousins. The next room, guys, that I've got coming up on Clubhouse is another brand new one. I hope y'all are gonna love it. I hope you enjoy it. It's tarot meets cartomancy. That's a part of a new 6-week series that culminates in an amazing workshop with Seer Bayo. Seer is the founder of the Hoodoo Conjure and Root Work Club here on Clubhouse. He and I are so psyched to give you this wonderful deep dive into what it is to do divination and read playing cards and what it's like to read tarot cards. And so we choose corresponding cards. We're going to do deep dives. I really hope y'all are going to enjoy that. That kicks off tomorrow. I'm just going to put the link up here. I mention it because this is going to be the first room that I do where we do some amazing giveaways. We're giving away 2 decks tomorrow. We're giving away a deck that was a brand new deck. It was given to me by a member of my community who knows that I love giving decks away, especially to Black and brown women and girls, because I wish that someone had given me a deck. So we'll be passing along that beautiful brand new deck, as well as one of Seer's decks from his new deck that he created. That's going to be tomorrow at around 10:30. I put the link right up there. So go ahead and touch that link and tap the bell. I want to invite everyone again to, before you leave, make sure you tap the little green chateau that's up in the upper left-hand corner. That's the Tarot Power Soul Club. That's where we are. I'm Halleck Hannah. I'm the creator and the founder of the Tarot Power Soul Club. This is where we try to uplift, elevate, and electrify the conversation around the intuitive and the sacred arts. Thank you so much for hanging out with us at the Boss Witch interviews. Some of you were even with us at the Tarot Journal this morning. Both of the replays of this room don't stay on Clubhouse very long. I leave them up for like a little while. Then they come to live over at the Tarot Power Soul home on the Geneva app, as well as on YouTube. So if you are interested in deep diving more into this stuff, if you enjoy the sound of my voice, come hang out with us there. I will put the link up to that space. But in the meanwhile, just back channel me home away from home to receive your invitation to the space, to our home. I consider it kind of our tent fort, our home away from the apps, where I can share a little bit more of my love of tarot. I can bring you into my own personal practice a little bit more. We're going to be doing mini rituals and workshops. We've got 2 new events planned that are exclusively for people that are members of the home. We have our first new moon circle coming up, our first new moon tarot circle coming up this Saturday in the early afternoon around 3 o'clock. And we have our first book club. We're going to be dishing and talking about pulling cards, pulling out our crystals, enjoying money magic teas as we jump into an awesome discussion of money magic. And I want to remind everybody, this is a book club that I'm running. This isn't a regular book club. This is a really this is a really special like book club full of crystals and tarot cards and herbs and teas. You're absolutely going to love it. All of that is in I'm offering to you all, to members of my community and the Tarot Power Soul home on Geneva. So again, just back channel me here on Clubhouse or on Instagram, home away from home, and I'll send you your invite. I love y'all so much. Arianna, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining us with the Boss Witch interviews. Our next will be not the week coming up, but the week afterwards, and I'll notify everybody about that on Instagram and Twitter, on all my pages. I love y'all. I'm getting ready to get onto Instagram. So y'all give me about half an hour, and Tarot Tuesday continues with Toast and Tarot over on Instagram. So y'all be looking out for me to go live. Oh, and we got some comments. Oh, look at the hearts. Ah. Oh, Erica. Yep, you're gonna be. Yep, you're gonna be there. All right, girl. I hope you. Yeah, I was like, you're definitely gonna be there. You are definitely up on the couch. Thank you in advance. And y'all know I hate saying goodbye. It takes me so long. But if you come in a little bit late, don't worry about it. The replay will be up. Get into it. Enjoy this amazing Boss Witch interview with the human design queen and your ultimate hype woman, Arianna Maag. I love y'all like play cousins. I'm going to count us out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye, y'all.